Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A few moments ago, the Steeler offensive starters, including all-pro wideout Antonio Brown, were introduced. And they've got this crowd in a frenzy as they get set to square off with the Seattle Seahawks. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
On the return, it's Juju Smith-Schuster. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. A look at the veteran Ben Roethlisberger as he and the Pittsburgh Steelers trot out there, and they are winless through 2 weeks of the season. The tie week 1 against Cleveland, and then the loss at home against Kansas City. And now all of a sudden people wondering, what's going on with Big Ben and the Steelers?
It seems like everything's okay when you look at his stat line. He threw for 452 yards. He threw for 3 touchdowns. He passed John Elway to move into 7th place all-time in passing yards, over 51,000 of them. But they can't close out shootouts. Remember the playoffs last year against Jacksonville? Couldn't close that one out. Didn't do it again this past week with Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. Their defense not upholding what the offense is doing.
Yeah, Mahomes threw 6 touchdown passes against that defense. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
A big reason this team led the league in offense, their offensive line. Monster strength. 3 Pro Bowlers last year in Alejandro Villanueva, David DeCastro, and Marquise Pouncey. Kept their quarterbacks upright to throw it downfield and carved a lot of holes for their runners.
Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
For James Conner, week 1, he was great. 135 yards, a pair of scores. Week 2, didn't approach those kinds of numbers. Not that you would hold him to that level again.
No, not at all. And the hard part for him, because he only had 17 yards on the ground, he did score 1 rushing touchdown. But he had to get involved in the passing game more because they were down big to Kansas City right out of the gate. So the ball had to be thrown. Big Ben threw it 60 times. That means you're not turning around and handing it to James Conner in the running game as often as they would like. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And a look at Seattle's defense.
And middle linebacker Bobby Wagner, he's playing the absolute perfect position. He's the type of guy that you build around. Cornerstone of a defense, his ability to play the run, the pass, and his leadership skills. You get the full package with him.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, They'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year.
Now bad hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. To throw is Wilson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got a man, complete. It's a big hook up there, Wilson to Baldwin, and even 40 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there, and he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I don't think either one of us is surprised about who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already looked his way a couple of times. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Past the 20. He finds his man, Baldwin. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin, 45 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a 1st quarter lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Janikowski good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out to kick is Janikowski. Smith-Schuster now to return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Well, let's take a closer look at the start that the Steelers have had this season as they come back onto the field here. We talked about it. They're 0-1-1. The tie to the Browns, the loss to KC, and now all of a sudden you got the Ravens coming in, and that looks like a game now that they can't really afford to lose.
And they don't want to look ahead. They need to focus on the Ravens and find a way to get a win. But if they do, after that, they're home for Atlanta, and then they're at Cincinnati, who has jumped into the fray this year as a contender in the AFC North. So plenty of work for the Steelers to do. Too early to give up on them. The pedigree's too good, but it's not too early to focus in on Baltimore. They need this win.
And the AFC North looking a lot more intriguing than most thought a couple of weeks ago. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Throwing is Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And he'll go down in the end zone. Down goes Wilson. It's a safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down. How big.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Now Zaire Jones breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Antonio Brown, 70 yards. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown.
Well, partner, go ahead and strike up the band. Cue up the dance moves. AB is in the end zone yet again, and that's not a surprise at all. His ability to turn something into a bigger play after the catch, that run after catch, one of the things that helps separate him as one of the elite receivers in the NFL.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is now 2. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. A little juke. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Space to maneuver at the 40. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. We know he's got the arm, but watch out for those wheels.
Kind of harkens back to guys they used to call the scrambler and the dodger. This guy can make it work with his legs.
Field opened up. He took advantage. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Eluding the pressure right. Skirts by at the 15. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
7 yards on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll try to run with Carson. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there. Taking it in. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Janikowski on for the extra point. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out to kick is Janikowski. Smith-Schuster now to return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at about the 32. Here's Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
It's not apparent, is it? You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they must feel like they need to steal possessions in this game, and maybe they don't match up possession for possession with the opposite team. They got to steal it and try and gain an advantage, and they tried. They just didn't get it done.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
and that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Roethlisberger will hand a counter. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is. And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. And that is incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. T.J. Watt not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. And that's blocked. The Steelers get it. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Now Roethlisberger to throw.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding. Defense.
So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
Janikowski on for the extra point. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. Well, not content with a first quarter lead, I guess. They're going to go onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, It was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. On second down, Roethlisberger throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger, and that is incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance.
That's caught inside the 20. They give him a gain of 38.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
It's not a great revelation to say that it's going to take a lot to replace what Jimmy Graham gave this club from the tight end position, especially in the red zone. But that had to be an encouraging sight for Russell Wilson right there as he finds one of his replacements for the touchdown.
Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski good with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, not content with a first quarter lead, I guess. They're going to go onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. The risk reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep. Those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And his throw is incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. He gets it to Brown. Good play. Now the ball comes loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. In our meetings this week, they kind of tipped us off. They wanted to play ultra-aggressive, forcing fumbles. They just did that right there.
They took it to the next level, didn't they? You're exactly right, because everyone talks about being aggressive on defense and tackling well, but they were talking about getting after the football, making sure the ball was stripped out each and every time they lined up someone to get them on the ground.
And the adjustment working early.
Definitely worth taking in our deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Now it's Wilson. Wide open receiver, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His fifth catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. And that pass puts him up over 200 yards already here in the first.
And what it also does is it allows the offensive coordinator.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. On second down, Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed in.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Bud Dupree in there to get him the sixth time they've sacked him tonight.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
Blue 30.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play was swallowed up.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've hit the end of quarter one. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. More from the Steel City coming up after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's got a little daylight, but it's brought in by Washington. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Washington, 75 yards. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. And they just ran the fly route there, didn't they?
You broke it down perfectly. He ends up catching that one and taking it all the way into the end zone.
Well, thanks. It was pretty simple to break down, though. I mean, that's just a guy going, running on the go route, making a play.
Speed,
Kills.
speed, speed. And what does it do?
It kills.
There you go.
Extra point now by Boswell. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make this a 19-point ball game. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership, by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just open for number 4. Wilson, and he's got some space here. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
On first down, Wilson. That is incomplete. Artie Burns, former first-rounder, there to break that one up. Well, let's take a step away from this game for a second. Talk about teams that are undefeated through 2 weeks in the NFL season. Miami, Denver, Cincinnati, Tampa Bay. How about those surprises all being 2-0 right now?
Yeah, the Jaguars, the Chiefs, and the Rams are all 2-0. Not a major surprise. You're exactly right, because they have one common characteristic, those teams you mentioned, Miami, Denver, Cincinnati, and Tampa. None of them made the playoffs last year. And what's the one thing we do know about the NFL? Roughly half the teams that made the playoffs a year before will not make them 2 years in a row. So these teams could be some of the early replacements in the playoff race for 2018.
And one more stat, 62% of teams that start 2-0 make the playoffs. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's Wilson, flushed out right. Shifts, Wilson, hit, it's loose, it's out, fumble.
Yeah, baby!
So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
It's caught right side, Dixon. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They run it with Carson. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead because...
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Mike Davis taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Janikowski on for the extra point. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And they'll run it here. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Set. Black 5.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And the Steelers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Ready? Blue 30.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Boswell for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll make this a 19-point ball game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell on now to kick this one away. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Is that what
he would have kept it on the ground.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. To throw is Wilson, escaping the pressure right. He's got the tight end, Vanette, and he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Back-to-back nice gains, that one for 14 yards and another first.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And before the second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now it's Wilson. Wide open receiver, complete. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Keep working, baby. Keep working, fellas.
Now Wilson on first down. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and put the ball in the end zone, throwing it, you had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the ground, so maybe just something to throw him off a little bit.
Yeah, that had to feel a lot better for the defensive guys. They've been getting carved up in this one. To finally knock him on the ground and force an incompletion, that's got to be a sigh of relief.
And this is caught at the 8. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That catch puts him right at 100 yards receiving now, and it also gives him a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal.
We got three, fellas. All right, 380. 51 to fight, boys, 51.
Wilson will throw again. Flush to his right. Caught on the slant. That's good for a gain of 6. Second and goal.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Come on, let's go.
He'll get it up the middle, and he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Janikowski good with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
On the crossing route, complete. It's Brown. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
And there's a man they call AB, always a volume receiver. He gobbles up catches. Holds a number 2 and number 4 spots for most receptions in a season in NFL history. And in 2015, just 7 catches shy of setting the single-season mark for most receptions, currently held by Marvin Harrison, a Hall of Famer.
He had 136 catches that year on the heels of 129 the season before. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Set. Blue 30.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
Now Roethlisberger. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jaron Reed in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that'll put us within 3 scores as it becomes now a 23-point game. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were...
Wilson hit, it's loose, it's out, fumble. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right, a lost opportunity.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make this a second down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. They give him a gain of 37.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that's complete. It's the tight end Daniels. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? But Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. 1:59 to go in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A big play there. 43 yards. And the the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Extra point now by Boswell. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make this a 19-point ball game. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Gets around him. And terrific field position here as they finally get him just shy of the midfield stripe.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Flushed out right. Oh, what a move. And help. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So, should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Opted to run for it. The decision, a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Being chased out left. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. On 2nd down, here's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. 3rd and 2, now Wilson, escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a 1st down. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the 1st half. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Smith-Schuster now to return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We want to remind you that new this year in regular season games, I'll take you around the NFL, give you stats and scores from games in progress, as well as look back at games that have already been completed. So keep an eye out for that. But for now, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Lockett the return. Pretty move. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the...
And that's caught inside the 35. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Now it's Carson, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 3rd down. That's Carson. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know in the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Single, set, like 80.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach, and incomplete. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And it's hard to hold a kick from this distance against him, but that is now 3 misses for him in the game so far.
3! And you wonder where his head's at right now. Kickers are a funny breed, but I have a feeling he'd love to see a 29-yarder next time to get him back in the groove.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Well, we got a second here after that incompletion. Let's have a little fun. I know you saw Ryan Fitzpatrick's get-up in the post-game press conference after Week 2.
And we're not talking about the beard this time.
No, well, that was part of the ensemble.
We're talking about the trappings, aren't we?
How about that outfit? Those were Deshaun Jackson's clothes?
That's my understanding. Clothes, jewelry, shades, the whole deal. He came out and paid homage to his guy who got him a 75-yard touchdown pass in the game, and everyone had a ball with it. Media, team, Fitzpatrick, you name it. I'm sure Deshaun Jackson got a kick out of it as well. Personally, I thought he raided your closet because when I saw him come out, I said, hold on a second. That's how Brandon dresses when we leave the ball game.
My favorite thing, though, from all of this was the social media posts that had 2 different pictures. On the left, it was his freshman year at Harvard. Looked like the All-American boy. And then that press conference photo on the right. You want to talk about the alter ego of somebody? That was it right there. Now Wilson on second down. And that is incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. They have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very...
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there, taking it in from a yard out. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
30.
Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. To the right side and complete to Washington. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big play there for the Steelers. And even 40 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's a...
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we got to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
Boswell for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and that will cut this lead down to 25. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Lockett the return. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And out now come the Seahawks. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
A CD switching gears for a second. After last year, 7 NFL head coaches were relieved of their duties. And in week 1 of this season, those 7 coaches went 0-7. They fared a little better, though, in week 2.
They certainly did. Finally got into the win column. 3 of those happened. 1 in Chicago, 1 in Tennessee, and 1 in Indianapolis. Finally getting off the schneid. The other guys trying to get it done in week 3.
Yeah, including John Gruden. Curious to see when he gets his first victory out west. On first down, Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. He won't find a ton of space following the display of power as he's down just inside the 45.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing again here, Wilson. It's caught right side by Daniels. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Seahawks on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Again, Wilson. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. On first down, Wilson. It's caught right side, Dixon. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On 2nd down, Wilson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
He's found nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there again. My goodness, that is now his 4th sack tonight.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So make him 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives have bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
This doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is...
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Well, taking a glance across the NFL through 2 weeks of the season, you've got quite a few teams that are winless, which obviously makes sense 2 weeks in, but the John Gruden era not off to the best start. They're at 0-2, Charles.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, Brandon. I mean, the Raiders, I believe this is the 15th time in franchise history they've started 0-2. None of the previous 14 times have they started 0-2 and made the playoffs. So the John Gruden era, not off to the start they're looking for, but I do think they're going to improve during the year. I wouldn't rule them out just yet. They might make a little bit of history with their franchise. I think the Steelers and the Browns at 0-1-1, it's an odd record, but the Browns actually feel halfway decent about it if they can fix their kicking. The Steelers, utterly disappointed they're 0-1-1.
Yeah, but the Browns, you're right, they could very easily be 2-0 right now. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up a third down and very long. Third and long, it's Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Extra point now by Boswell. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Lockett the return. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick six. Room here to run. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. That one goes for 24 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. T.J. Watt in there yet again. My goodness, make it 5 sacks for him now in this one game alone.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Wilson, flush to his right. His throw caught at about the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Out to kick is Janikowski. Smith-Schuster now to return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense a good chance to catch their breath, settle down.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington, 62 yards. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Well, yes, that's his 3rd touchdown catch, which is very impressive, but on the scoreboard, they're still struggling.
So safe to say that without him, my goodness, yikes, they are in major league trouble. He's doing his best to try and keep them in the game.
Boswell for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so. We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Javon Hargrave coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. Throwing on 3rd and long. Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 20.
Like 30.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Ready? Like 20.
They run with Connor, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Let's go.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
He's got the tight end, Vanette, and he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Flushed out right. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what...
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Washington, 45 yards. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And it's not over yet as they're back within 2 scores. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. Lockett the return. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly.
And a loose football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game. And the ball is knocked out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now...
It's caught inside the 25. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. 45 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Wilson. Oh, it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5, that's a win. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, his second touchdown of the night. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So,
and it's a Seattle Seahawks touchdown.
And Tyler Lockett does it again. Talk about being able to transition what he did in college to the NFL. And I know there were doubters because of his size, but this guy is absolutely electric with the ball in his hands.
Plays like that, that's how you become a Pro Bowl return guy. Janikowski on for the extra point. Janikowski good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Oh, a little cruel here. They're going to go for the onside kick up big. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now second and 13. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington, 46 yards. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
And now Big Ben will lead the Steelers up to go for 2. Here's Roethlisberger. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now the Steelers' offense gets ready to get back onto the field. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's Connor. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Now Wilson on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Here's Carson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Complete to Washington. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Going to throw deep, and it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, 27 yards. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. It's been quite the game for him individually. A trio of touchdown catches now.
So pick a route, any route. Whatever you want him to run, he's going to do it and do it well and end up in the end zone. This has really been fun to watch.
Extra point now by Boswell. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Escaping the pressure right. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a 1st down.
Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. And Dixon has it. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end, and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
On third down, it's Carson. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's first and goal.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Well, this is a touch cruel here. They've got the big lead. Now they're going for the jugular with the onside kick. So it's a drive that ends in 3, and I know that line sounds familiar. It's because I've said it 7 times now, and that leaves him 1 short of the NFL record of 8 field goals in 1 game.
It has been a lot of settling for 3, but I tell you what, it's nice to know that you have someone this reliable to turn to.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger, and he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now it's Roethlisberger toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up third down. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. And nobody was open downfield there. Looked like a pretty clear throwaway.
Yeah, definitely was that. I'm wondering why there wasn't intentional grounding. I know they're saying there's a receiver there in the area. Those darn quarterbacks, they get away with everything.
Spoken like a true defensive back, Mr. Davis.
Did that come out?
It did.
Okay.
Here we go. It's Roethlisberger on fourth down. But it's brought in by Washington. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal.
Set! Blue 30!
Connor And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. They got to have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Roethlisberger. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th and goal here as they search for a late score. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Wilson wants to throw it. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Artie Burns, former first-rounder, there to break that one up.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, trying to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. Well, this defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. 2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. James Conner, the running back, his intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Roethlisberger. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. To throw again is Roethlisberger. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. His throw incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And this is going to be intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, when plays like that work, It's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Let's go, let's go.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
Timeout offense.
So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. On first down, Wilson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Pittsburgh.